This body, bringing the attention home to the body sitting, allowing ourselves to be comfortable, be relaxed, and be upright. Good to have a sense of kindness coming into the meditation, a gentle, friendly awareness, a welcoming, here we are. And as I say, I'd like to offer some guidance today for those who would care to follow. It doesn't matter whether you don't or you do, it's okay for you to choose. The most important thing is that we're here together and we've committed to being present for practice at this time. But for those who'd like to follow, I'd like to bring us to a very focused practice this morning. To start now, to really attend, bring our attention, yoniso manasikara, full attention, deep attention, listening, attending to the breath, feeling the breath. Where is it? Where is it felt? What is it like? This process that is constant for us, that keeps us alive. Can we open very fully to just this? Body breathing. And if it's not so easeful to locate the breath, so subtle, so quiet, sometimes amidst the noise of the mind, the senses, well, let's take a few deep breaths. If we need some help to hone in on, focus on the breath. Some deep breaths, energizing also, settling, coming home. The Buddha praised this practice highly, spoke about this practice often, gave the sense, encouragement that we really don't need to seek many techniques. There's really no complexity to this practice of meditation. We can simply be present and aware of the breath. Good enough. My teacher Goenkaji calls this the royal road to Nibbana. Just observing, being present for each and every breath, wherever you feel it, however it appears. To be aware of each and every breath, friends. is to know the in-breath from start to finish, the out-breath fully, completely, and the spaces, those delightful pauses between the breaths, and all of it natural, unforced. It's doing itself. This is in itself a great teaching for us. We don't have to do anything, just be present for this natural Dhamma, the truth of this process, breathing in, breathing out. So keep attending, whether it's feeling the flow of the breath, or the touch, or the temperature, whether it's in the nostrils, or the throat, or the movement of the chest, movement of the belly, just wherever the attention meets the breath, the breathing. We can steadily apply attention here. Focusing, developing, concentration, developing stillness, a peaceful abiding. Let's see if we can be present, be here, not miss a single breath. The more we attend, the more there is to appreciate, the more fully we can experience this beautiful, natural, life-giving process. Our constant and dear companion. If the mind is going into thinking about this or that, no problem. But for this time, let's guide the attention back, return to the breath, appreciating that, okay, the mind is busy. It's hard to stay focused on one thing, so subtle, so refined. Okay, and just come back to keep developing samadhi, to train the mind in this way, and reconnect with the breath. Let the awareness deepen, sharpen, and clarify. And it may be that the attention is very honed in on one particular area of the body, feeling the breath. Or it may naturally be that the attention widens, broadens to feeling the whole body breathing, feeling the breath throughout the body. However it is, let's not miss a single breath. Let's pick up, be here for every nuance of this beautiful, life-giving rhythm, soothing and so helpful for us to attend, to keep our attention as it moves, as it flows. Let's not miss any aspect of this beautiful, sacred movement, giving life, giving energy, enabling us to practice. As we continue to develop breath awareness, anapanasati, mindfulness of the in-breaths and the out-breaths, we can appreciate how the mind can experience a little bit more settledness, more peacefulness, as we keep bringing the attention to bear here in the body, body breathing. And there's a gladdening of the mind, a brightening of the mind that slowly can begin to manifest for us. Even if we're struggling to stay present, yet, just like after sweeping a room, the dust settles again, or after stirring water, all the particles settle again. There's a slight, slow, steady sense of clarity that can start to manifest for us. And we can notice this, appreciate this. Body settling, relaxing, mind also settling and relaxing, gladdening and brightening. And we can open our attention to this flow, this rhythm, ever more fully, appreciating that it's constantly changing, constantly moving. No two breaths the same, no moment of complete cessation. A flow and a change, an arising and a passing. And so simply here, simply observing, feeling the breath, we can appreciate this reality, anicca, anicca, impermanent, ever-changing nature of all things. And as we can flow with the breath, we can appreciate the value of presence, of not holding on, of letting go again and again, moment by moment. Just keep flowing with this simple moment now. So, dear friends, we have just a couple more minutes to sit together. Very good at the end of a practice session to bring in a heart of kindness, or refresh or renew our heart of kindness. Grateful for our practice, grateful for this life, wishing ourselves well, whatever's being experienced, with compassion, with kindness, always. Bringing up a heart of warmth, of kindness for this experience, for this being, and for all beings. And allowing this kindness, this heart of love to radiate in all directions. We are so fortunate. We are so blessed. We have the Dhamma practice. We can wish all beings well, bringing up metta, loving kindness. And letting it shine forth. Breathing in good wishes, breathing out loving kindness. So for the last few minutes, let's combine our breath awareness with the practice of metta bhavana, of loving kindness. May all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. May all beings be free from suffering. So we can gently, slowly, taking our time, have a stretch or move as much as needed, opening the eyes and coming into the shared space. Thank you all for your practice, and warm welcome to everybody. This practice of Anapanasati, the Buddha gave very full, very complete and detailed instructions, guidance, for us to be able to really make much of our ability, to attend to this aspect of our experience. And personally, I find the Anapanasati practice to be very easeful, very supportive, because of the constant movement, the constant change that we experience when we observe the breath. It's a bit like, watching or just the quality of seeing. I believe that we are programmed to always focus on anything that's moving in our field of vision, isn't it? We're designed to pick up on movement because it's presumably for safety, to see things coming at us, to see what needs to be, we need to be aware of that which is moving. And so in the same way, when it comes to observing the breath, it's like we're good at this. We can observe that which changes and moves in the body. And actually, isn't it true that when we pay attention to any aspect of the body, there is change to be experienced? We can witness movement and change actually in every aspect of body awareness, but the breath is very clearly a flow, a rhythm. And so we can, it helps us to stay steady and develop samadhi, develop focus. So this is a great practice. And the Buddha gave a lot of detailed instruction around Anapanasati practice, which we're going to dive into together in the Sutta study group this afternoon, looking at Anapanasati Sutta. But I recommend, whether you can be present then or at any other time, I really recommend looking at the Sutta, Majjhima Nikaya, number 118. Profound teaching, important sutta for us. And one can really investigate this the whole life and see how the mindfulness of the breath can develop over time and reveal all the aspects of the Dharma, the four satipatthanas, the four foundations of mindfulness, and also the enlightenment factors, all manifest as we attend to the breath. How wonderful, how complete, how full of practice this is. So, dear friends, we have a little bit of time. If anyone would like to share, we can have a conversation now. And any reflections, any comments, any questions, so welcome. Let's sit and see if there's anything that wishes to be expressed. If you'd like to say anything, put up a hand. Yes, Laurent.
Hello, Ayya.
Hi.
Hello. Thank you for this space. This is an amazing little monastery that I've just discovered lately, so I'm really happy about it. Kusala Judy made kind of pointed my way to here. I have a question regarding the breath, and especially regarding if I can use, or what's your view on using mantras like rising, falling, like when my mind goes a little crazy like it was today. Is it okay if I use mantra, if I use like wondering, and then go back to my breath? Or is it better if I just try to stay with my breath? And this is just basically when my mind goes a little too much. What's your view on that, please?
Yeah, thank you. Laurent, I'm really pleased that you ask about this and bring this in because, yeah, look, for a lot of us, it can be actually quite difficult to stay present with the breath. You know, it's quite subtle. There are many other things maybe arising for us. And so to keep coming to the breath can be quite challenging. And so, you know, it's really helpful to have different strategies, just as you've described. Excellent. You know, if we're finding our mind very distracted and we're just wandering away from the breath again and again, so helpful, yeah, to have a mantra, to use a word such as, yep, breathing in, breathing out, or to count the breaths. That's a very common practice, you know, many traditions. Counting, say, to 1 to 10 and then starting again. See how far you can go. It may be 1 or 2 or 3. One, yeah, fine. But it tells us so much, doesn't it? It's like this is, you know, this is not just about friends, it's not just about watching the breath, it's about understanding the mind. This practice reveals, doesn't it, the state of mind, the state of the heart. So much can happen within this practice, so many emotions, thoughts, memories, and so forth. And the important thing is that none of this is a problem. We only have to remember to keep attending, to keep coming back, you know, and all the time we're learning about the state of mind and developing this Vipassana insight into the way things are. So yeah, thank you, Lauren, because it's really good for everyone to know, if you don't already know, that there are so many skillful means we can bring in if needed, a mantra, counting. Sometimes people will do things like touching, you know, putting the fingers together, each breath, separating, anything that helps. And we can experiment and feel creative about this because all of these skillful means are simply helping us to stay present. So, yeah, thank you, Laurent. And I hope that's helpful.
Thank you.
Karen.
First of all, I just want to quickly thank both of the Ayas for winter retreat. It's one of my favorite times of the year, and I really love the curriculum. It really supports me in a profound way over these months. Um, I started, I found Buddhism about a month after the pandemic started in April of 2020, and I've only practiced virtually. I found it very easy early on to meditate, and now in a couple years in, I'm going through a period where it's a challenge. Um, and I really liked what Laurent said about, you know, the mantra concept. It's funny, I'm finding almost that this is more insightful. Having a difficult, I mean, you talk about circling through one breath. I'm happy to get a half of one. But I've also noticed that I'm very present when you're guiding or someone is guiding, and it's the silence that just breaks the monkey mind loose. And I have been finding that I never used to find that having my eyes opened was beneficial in the beginning. And now I'm finding that if I am opening my eyes and I'm looking at a Buddha, that I'm able to be silent. So I think it's really cool and appropriate to say that, you know, I'm not very successful right now. I mean, that's so funny to even say that, but that I'm finding more insight in what would be a more disturbed pattern, and I'm just happy that I'm sitting with it, and we'll see where it goes.
That's really wonderful and really encouraging. Like, because I'm sure you're not the only person who, you know, our practice can be so unpredictable in a way. Sometimes it's easeful, sometimes it's not. Sometimes the thought of sitting still can be really challenging for us, never mind trying to attend to any particular object of meditation, you know. So there's restlessness, we have sleepiness, we have wanting to be doing something else, not wanting to be here. All these hindrances can come up for us. And of course, doubt is the fifth, wondering what the heck we're doing. What's the point of all of this? And I'm really glad that you're not struggling with any kind of doubt there, Karen. You're clearly on the path. And it is true what you say. And it's really important, a really important point, that whether our practice is going smoothly in the sense that we can focus, we can be still, we can attend to the body and breath, we're not lost in thinking, whether that's the case or whether we're actually bombarded with all sorts of distractions, it's all good. It's all good because it's all Dhamma teaching us. All we actually have to do to make progress on the path is to show up, make time, be willing to make the effort to apply the Buddha's teachings in our lives, and we're going to get results. And so I love that you've brought in this. It's like non-judgmental attitude, it's all good, and to be grateful for all of it. We don't need to judge, whether the mind is restless or still, whether we're sleepy or we're over energized. It's all good. We just observe. And so it's a wonderful way, isn't it, that we're learning to drop the judgmental mind, drop the critical voices, let go of all of the commentary over our lives. None of that is worth attending to. That's all really just a whole load of rubbish that we can, or should I say garbage, that we can put aside, So thank you for your reflection, Karen. And so happy for you that it's not so easy now, because I think for many people it's easy initially when we need a lot of supportive conditions for practice, and then we start to really practice when things are not so smooth and easeful. So I'm happy for you, you're in that place, and I know that you'll keep going. Sadhu. Suzanne.
Thank you. I first heard about you from the Empty Cloud Monk Chat, so thank you. 2 questions. You mentioned in the guided about the location. It might be one place in the body, or it might be global. So I'd like to hear your reflections about that. And the second thing is, there's usually an awareness of the abdomen where the breath is, but there's like a seeing of it, or a seeing of the body. So what are your reflections about those 2 things?
Yeah, thank you, Suzanne. And we'll need to finish with this, everyone, just so you know. Thank you for these 2 questions. Yeah, it's really great to expand the sort of sense of what it is that's experienced here. So it can be different things for different people. And some people are more visually inclined and it's a seeing. Some people are more auditorily inclined. It can be more of a hearing, a listening process, or a feeling process. And whatever it is, and almost wherever it is that we feel the breath, all good. And I know there are many schools in Burma, aren't there, Suzanne, where the abdomen, paying attention to the abdomen when we practice Anapanasati is the main instruction. It's actually a very beautiful place to attend to. This is what I find myself doing also, because it's deeply grounding and relaxing to come down, to the base of the body, as it were, and to feel the breath there. But wherever you feel the breath. And also, it's lovely that you bring in this kind of instruction around the broadness of the awareness, whether it's the whole body breathing, whether we are immersed in the whole breath, the process, the rhythm of the breath. Again, whatever works for you. And it may be for different people at different times. We find ourselves really investigating some aspect. It could be the pauses between the breaths, really making much of that awareness, the awareness of those moments. Or it may be the fullness of the cycle of the breath, or the anicca sanya, how it changes constantly. This is actually something really valuable to reflect on. Or it may be a whole body awareness, which really feels the energy that comes in with the in-breath and the kind of letting go and relaxing with the out-breath. Whole body, I think it's rather wonderful that the Buddha's instructions are not totally clear cut for us, because we're translating from a different language, Pali language. There's debate about the meaning often. All good, because we can take all the different possibilities and experiment with them. Let's remember, friends, just in conclusion, that this practice is for each and every one of us, and it's experiential, so that we make it whatever it can be for us. It's the Dhamma's here and now, and it's for each one of us to feel confident, to take in the teachings and then to apply them for ourselves and see what we can make of them. So this is a really important point, I think. So I'm grateful to you, Suzanne, for bringing these points in, and to all of those who've spoken for kind of expanding the field. We could go on, but the time has passed. So alas, we have to stop. Thank you all for being here. And I hope some of you will have a chance to join us this afternoon.
This is a good moment to close by giving respects to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha. The Lord, the perfectly enlightened and blessed one, I render homage to the Buddha, the Blessed One. The teachings so completely explained by him, I bow to the Dhamma. The Blessed One's disciples who have practiced well, I bow to the Sangha. Thank you, Ayya.
Thank you, Ayya. Thank you both, Ayyas.
Sadhu,
Thank you, Ayya.
sadhu, sadhu.
Bye-bye.
Guys.